Is my life pre-programmed or do I have a free will? Well, what is pre-programmed in our physical reality are the patterns. Pattern is like a program which gives you options to choose from. And you're constantly given options to choose from, but you do have choice every time to choose from these options. So what is pre-planned and pre-programmed are the options that you will be given. And what you do have is your free will to choose yes or no, to say yes or no to each option that you are being offered. So these programs that describe the pattern that you will have to face during your lifetime are described, for example, in the major arcana of the tarot deck, where each card simply describes a program, a pattern which you will have to face. Many times during your lifetime you will have to face the same pattern, and until you recognize the pattern. So if it is, for example, you are trying to learn how to forgive, for example, or how to deal with betrayal, for example, or let's say betrayal. Like this betrayal is an example of a pattern. It's a pre-programmed pattern which you will have to face, and when you face that situation or circumstances that you perceive as betrayal, you will have options on how to react. So to allow it to be, or to resist and feel like you're a victim or whatever. So basically, betrayal is a pattern which you will have to solve. It's an equation that you will be presented a number of times during your lifetime, and you will have to solve it every time with the right answer. So there is a right and wrong answer depending on the level of your consciousness and depending on the complexity of the situation that you will be presented. You will either recognize the pattern or you won't. So that's what we work with, learning like to recognize patterns. And once we recognize all of them, then we're able to make the right choice every time we face that same situation or same pattern, or whenever we're given that same equation to solve. So that topic leads us to the understanding of fractals, and then the butterfly effect, which I will talk about separately, but here focusing just on the idea of patterns as programs which we have to face during the lifetime, and our level of consciousness will determine whether we recognize the pattern or we don't. So betrayal, for example, we will have to face it. For example, we will feel like first our father betrayed us, then we will have to feel like our mother betrayed us, then our sibling betrayed us, then our neighbor betrayed us. Then that feeling of betrayal, it might come like, even if we we are born into a wonderful, loving and caring family, we will still have to feel that sensation of betrayal. We will have to face that pattern, even if like the family is totally perfect, but like having to face that pattern, we will feel betrayed when I don't know, we wanted the red candy but they gave us a yellow one, for example. That, for as a child, that's enough for us to face that pattern, whatever, being disappointed, for example, or betrayed in a way like, oh, they forgot to pick me up from grandma's, or whatever, feeling like we will find situations where to experience being betrayed by, for example, first equation, by father. We're given option. Do we get stuck on it, or we just let it pass through us without any resistance. If we solved it correctly, then the pattern starts building up in a beautiful way. So we're slowly learning how to deal with betrayal. We're slowly understanding. But normally we don't. As a child, we just start collecting those wrongly solved equations, and they get stuck in our memory, and then then we feel betrayed, for example, by our teacher, then by our partner, then by our child, then by our client, then by a neighbor, by a taxi driver, by, I don't know, like we'll have to experience that same pattern, emotional pattern of being betrayed. In a place where you were expecting to feel yourself safe, you suddenly, the situation changed in a certain way, and you felt your safety being taken away, and you felt that betrayal. So how you will experience that, and how the situation will be arranged for you to experience that, that is the difference between you and me, between the lives of different people. But the pattern that we have to face is same. And the good news is that the number of these patterns is specific, it's limited. So we do actually have a chance to solve all of them once we learn to recognize that emotion. Because at the very beginning, of course, we are not fully conscious of our reactions, so we don't recognize the pattern, or we start going in the wrong direction. Oh, everybody is betraying me. My mom forgot me at grandma's. My father forgot to buy me the candy I wanted. My sister didn't come at the hour that we agreed, and so on and so on and so on. So the concept of betrayal gets like the equation of betrayal, the pattern of betrayal, we are unable to solve properly. We solve it in some weird way, going into like confusion and darkness, being lost in that feeling yourself as a victim and so on. So this equation will have to keep haunting us. It will have to keep presenting itself to us until we learn to solve it properly. Because there is a proper solution. And the proper solution is what leads us to build to draw a beautiful fractal, which makes sense only once we have solved the equation a sufficient amount of times. Is it a little complicated? I'll try to break it down in a separate video about fractals, and then about the butterfly effect, which makes our lives special. That's the butterfly effect. Yeah, my butterfly effect. And so altogether, it's a fun game to play, at least if you're already on this journey of awakening and focused in all these issues. So at least like you have no way to escape this work. So at least I'm giving some clues on how to speed up this journey and how to understand it better. So basically, a major arcana of tarot can actually give you clues on understanding patterns. That is what's encoded into those cards on a classical deck. Not on any decks, just on a classical deck. The symbol of each major arcana is meant to describe a program, a pattern which you will have to deal with, which you will be presented during lifetime in different situations. And your task is to understand the pattern and learn to recognize it every time you are being presented that pattern. And once you learn to solve this same equation correctly every single time you are being presented this equation or pattern, then your life builds into a beautiful fractal image. I hope my explanations make sense, but I'm trying my best. I hope you enjoyed. Stay on my channel for more. See you later.